You and show you one of our most popular buildings. It is an RV cover. Everyone's buying RVs this summer, so I wanted to get on here and show you exactly how that works with the RV cover. So there's three different roof styles here that you can select. With an RV cover, we normally go with a vertical style roof. You can see that the corrugated metal runs from the ridge down to the eave. This lets the snow and water shed off the building with ease, which is really what you want when you have such a big investment under that cover. So with an RV, normally you can get by with 12 wide is typical. The problem with 12 wide sometimes is people want to have their slide outs to come out. With 12 wide, it's difficult, so a lot of times people will go to 18. It depends on where you're setting it up. Now, the reason why we go from 12 to 18, because those are our standard sizes, so that's the price difference. So if you wanted a 14 wide, you could get a 14 wide. You're just going to pay the 18 wide price. Now, as far as length, some people go with 36. That is a popular length, although some campers, RVs, and rigs are pretty much right at 30 or 36. So some people want additional coverage. What you have to remember with our measurements is the 36, or the roof measurement, is the measurement from the front to the back of the roof. It's not the measurement of the footprint, or down here at the bottom. So there's 6 inches of overhang on each side, so that makes this measurement 35. So a lot of times we'll go to 41, which makes the roof measurement 41, but makes the footprint measurement 40. So this is an 18 by 41 or 40 by 12 foot tall, which 12 foot tall is normally a leg height, which is up here underneath the truss or the bow, is a very typical leg height for a RV or camper because of the height of them. And the reason why is because you're going to have extra clearance underneath the bow here. But I'm going to show you here in a minute why someone might want to go to 13 or 14. But 12 sometimes is a normal height. So let's select 14 and I'll show you why. So a lot of times people want sides on these. So you go to left side wall, you can select the 3-foot panel. And then you can go to the right side wall and select the 3-foot panel. Now, I always like to put J-trim on these sides. You see it appeared here. It gives it a nice clean edge on that underside of that metal. And if it is too low, if that panel becomes too low where someone's walking underneath it, it gets rid of that sharp edge, that unsafe edge. But it also makes it look nice and neat. I'll show you with the color here how that can make that stand out. Now the next thing is the gable ends. So on the back end here, a lot of people like to put the gable. Now this really depends on if you want to pull through the actual RV cover or not, or if you're just backing into it. And this is where the 14 and the 12 and 13 side height comes into play. And the reason why is because with a gable end, you can see that whatever your wall height is, or your side height, is what your gable or your clearance to pull in is going to be. So if you have a 12-foot sidewall height and you do a gable, you're going to have 12 foot of clearance to drive under. Well, if your RV is 12 foot plus the air conditioner, you might be at 12 foot 6, 12 foot 8. You're not going to make it underneath here. That's why you might want to consider the 13 or the 14 on the height. And a lot of people, and I'm going to put it on this one, like the back gable to be extended, which means that this gable comes down to meet the panels. Now, I have certified here because we want to certify the structure, and I'll show you that here in a minute. But the reason why we certify it is because of the wind load. A lot of places require that wind load. So here we've selected the gable end on the front, the extended gable on the back and the side, so it looks nice and neat. Right, very good. And we are going to select the sides and the ends for the J-trim now because we have the gable ends on there. Let's go to additional options. Now you can do vertical siding and vertical ends on this. We're going to leave it at horizontal. And then you can actually upgrade to 12 gauge framing on this because your tubular steel on this building will be 14 gauge. That's 2.5 inch tubular 14 gauge galvanized steel, but you can upgrade to the 12. Here is when we upgrade to the certified. Now it's not really going to change anything on this picture, and what I mean by that is that there's no physical change on the picture because it has to do with the anchoring system, and we'll go over that sometime of what those anchors look like. But now it's certified for 140 mile an hour wind and 30 pounds per square foot snow load. So that's it. Actually, you know what? Let's change the colors here. Let's go with some popular colors. I'll show you some popular colors. So a lot of times people like a dark roof and trim, and then maybe light ends and sides. So there you go, and you can see the trim on it. You can see the J trim. Turn the building around here. So you can just go to mondohomes.com, get in there on our builder. You can build your own building, and have a great day.